Joining us today on Influencers is the very formidable Mrs. Meera Isaacs, principal of Cathedral School, a celebrity really in education. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Isaacs. It's
Thank you.
lovely to have you. How do you still stay relevant?
I think in order to stay relevant, you have to keep changing. You keep looking at. I don't think you can allow yourself to be stagnant. Your mind has to be able to take in what is new and move along with that. Otherwise, you're dead.
You're changing the ethos of the school in a way, not the ethos, but the approach to education in a way, by having moved with the times, so to speak, and introduced IB and now IGCSE. Um, how is that going?
Well, I think, as you said, in order to be relevant, we do need to change, and we need to be able to give our children a wider choice. Give them what is available, and let them choose what they want. And therefore, without getting rid of the old system, that the ISC and the ICSE, we have chosen to give them the IB, so that they can weigh for themselves and balance the old and the new.
So, right up until the ninth, kids are in the traditional system, the rote learning system, and then it's a transition to an IGCSE system, which is quite a shift from them. How are you preparing them?
Well, first of all, we are doing a lot of bridge courses with the children, especially in Standard 8. And our IB teachers have been going down to Standard 8 and 7 and giving them an idea of how, giving the teachers themselves an idea of how to move. Of course, there's a whole lot of learning that is going on where the teachers themselves are concerned. But to tell you the truth, I don't think that what we are doing in the lower classes is that old-fashioned per se. We have honestly tried to blend the best from all curricula and study in order to give the children a very relevant kind of a curriculum is what I think. Yeah, the old and the new, the what we consider rote learning, which in my mind to some extent is very necessary, and the new one of critically thinking things through. So it's all there. It's an amalgam and a balance is what I think.
One of the concerns is that teachers who've been entrenched in the ICSE, SE system for many years are now being trained in a different sort of approach to teaching. So how does that work, and is that adequate?
It's basically the breadth of your knowledge and your ability and your willingness to look beyond the text. And I think that's something that we've always encouraged anyway. And so I do know that many people say it's so difficult to get a good teacher, while it's yes and no. But once you get a teacher into the school, there's always professional development that is going on, whether no matter which system it is that you're in. And I have honestly not found such a huge challenge per se. I suppose yes, it is definitely, there's no question about it, but it isn't. I think they've accepted the challenge and enjoyed the challenge of the change and of a new way of looking at life and a new way of thinking about things. And the moment your mind is alert and your mind is working, I think there's no problem. Yes, but to fill in gaps, I do want to bring in teachers from outside, mainly because our forte, our strength has always been the Indian system, the ISC and the ICSE. For example, the topper for the ISC was from our school, and she got this ridiculous amount, absurd amount, number of percentage of 99.5. I cannot understand that as yet, but why should I look a gift horse in the mouth? So I don't want to lose that. I don't want us to slip in what we are already excellent at in order to do something else. So frankly, it has to be excellent all round.
Right, absolutely. I mean, that is a culture that Cathedral has always had, a culture
That's true,
of
yes.
excellence. But this is quite a daunting task.
Yeah, I would say yes and no. It's very interesting, it's very challenging, it's very aspirational, and yeah, sometimes if you allow yourself to think too much about it, then it can be daunting. But I think one needs just to be fairly courageous and get on.
But people expect Cathedral to deliver excellence
I know.
and be in the top two
That's the sad
or
part of
top
it.
three immediately.
Yeah, I know. I know.
As do you.
Yeah, as do I. Yes, as do I.
So, how long do you think it will take to iron out?
I think we're already in the process of ironing out. In fact, the first batch we had, I must say, was a very, very good batch. And so, therefore, and very small. We just had about 22 children, and they were an excellent batch. And of course, I think we were very, very careful in the kind of children we took into the IB because it was absolutely new for us, and it had to be credible. I must say I was a little disappointed this year, but also it was also because of there are various factors that go into it's a mix really. I think it depends from also batch to batch, group to group. What are the also the combinations they have chosen. Sometimes they choose such difficult subjects, or they want to do a subject in an HL which they're not really cut out for, but they want to do it, and you can't really discourage them from that. So you put so much emphasis on one subject, you lose out on the others.
Do you feel in some way that you'd like to reduce the pressure on the results and just sort of
I just love that.
and
I
just
just
make
love
the
that.
system
Yes.
more sort of strong from the core?
I just feel that anywhere, I mean, just the entire academic outlook that everybody has. I mean, all of us say that we need to reduce the pressure on the children because the school pressurizes, parents pressurize, society pressurizes, colleges later on pressurize. I mean, it's just pressure, pressure, pressure on these poor things. I wish we could change that entire business, but I don't know whether we are ever going to be able to change that.
So eventually the ninth, 10th, 11th and 12th standards will be sitting in the new school.
Only the international sections.
Only the international.
Yeah, the rest of us will be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that you don't plan to take that down to the 8th standard or
You never
There are no
know.
classes.
We can never say never, because it just depends on the interest. It also depends on the necessity, and maybe if I can get a couple more buildings, then I think we are home and dry.
real estate is one of the biggest challenges in
It
Bombay.
is.
There's
It
no
is. I know it took me
doubt
about
it.
8 years to get this one building. I think I've scarred all of Bombay from Kolaba all the way to Dahisar, and I'm not joking when I say Dahisar.
Yeah, yeah.
But and then finally we got one just outside our door.
You know, if you want to encourage disruption, disruptors, innovators, today's world, they have to question how is that reflecting now in the culture of Cathedral? Is it changing?
Yes, most certainly, the IB encourages questioning. I don't know whether the old system really encouraged questioning, though I think when I used to teach, I used to like children to give me their points of view. And that really depends from teacher to teacher. But yes, the IB definitely encourages this, and I welcome it. I think it's a good thing. And nowadays, in any case, children are asking from the time they are born practically the why. And the why is important because it shows the curiosity, the inquisitiveness, the developmental journey. But I think you can be disruptors, as you say, but you can be disruptors with courtesy, with grace, and charm. You don't have to be disruptors in an obnoxious kind of way. And that is why I think that's one of the strengths of Cathedral also, at least I hope it is, where we give the kids a sort of a very, very richly value endowed education. I don't think I'm being overly smug when I say that a large number of our children are really, they can teach all of us a thing or two. They are so bright, and I think not only are they bright, but look at the kind of privileges they have. Look at the kind of exposure they have. Look at the travel they go through. Look at the reading they do. It's just all that together that makes the ultimate cathedralite, I think.
Sure.
Really.
Do you still feel Cathedral today, personally, in your opinion, has the same pull it did? Maybe even sort of 10 years ago?
Frankly, I think it does. Let me elucidate. This year, from I think it was from the junior to the middle of the middle school, a number of people left. They went. I would say roughly 8 to 10 children left. Went to the IGCSE and basically the IGCSE more than anything else. And I'm being very frank, I was saddened. And why was I saddened? Because these are children of my ex-students, or youngsters whom I have known and whom I have valued. Let's put it that way. You won't believe it. I think I think in the fourth standard or something, we had a few vacancies. We were inundated with children coming in, and that is true of every single class, except maybe the ninth standard, because then they have made up their mind that they want to go into the IB. I think there are many more schools that have come up now,
So
and
it's
many more
perfectly
schools,
natural
yes, and many more
for there
schools
to
that are
be-
offering a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and so I think it just keeps us on our toes. Yes, because I do think that we need to go with the times. We have to be open. We have to be able to allow the children to choose where they want to go. And
Is this going to be as big a priority for you as your traditional system is?
you mean?
Is the IB, IGCSE?
Oh yes, it's a very big priority for me because it's new.
Yeah.
We have to be extremely credible operators in this system. We have to. There's no question about it, and that is what we are working towards. And who knows? Maybe in a little while, then we may be half and half, or we may be even totally one way or the other. I have no idea. It just depends on the trends.
You're definitely going to be around for a couple of years to oversee. So
Well, for a couple of
hopefully-
years more, yes,
Yes.
definitely. After having been here for so long and being committed to the school for so long, you certainly don't want chaos. You certainly don't want anything of that sort. You just want things to be nice and smooth and stable, and to be able to hand this over to my successor with many, many blessings.
Your commitment to this school and its children and parents is undeniable, and you should be very proud of that.
Thank you. That's a lovely thing to say.
And congratulations, and all the best for the IB journey.
Thank you. We need that.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
sure, give or take 3 to 5 years, Cathedral will be on top of that IB chart as well.
I think by next year we should be there. Yeah, I'm not hoping. I think I'm pretty certain.
Thank you so much.